Appreciate it.
Again, we had Rob is kind of like middle of a snowstorm right now. Basically, they got him pretty hard out there, and we're dealing with it here. I'm sure Chris has it up where he is at as well. So
Yes, sir.
just bear with us here. And again, just appreciate everyone's patience. We'll get started here in just a little bit, just a few minutes. I believe I got all of it to you, Chris.
Oh man, these two sent me a lot.
Yes, sir. We had a lot of graphics. But if we can't get them up, that's perfectly fine. We'll put them in the main general chat in our Discord. If you're part of our community, not in the clan, well, you can be. Just message FUFan1798 on Discord. If you're not, just follow us on social media: Twitter, Dfuze Gaming WV, Facebook, Dfuze Gaming -DFZE. And I know I'm forgetting one. Jeez. Obviously, you can shoot us a follow on here. Shoot us a follow on YouTube as well. Dfuze Gaming, the one with about 800 subscribers. Yeah, that's factual, but at least we're up now. Again, I just want to get confirmation in the chat that you guys can hear me pretty good, and it also gives me an idea of what the stream delay is. Whenever I was with Rob a few minutes ago, it was about a 15-minute stream delay. It seemed like that was something. So, again, just let me know in the chat if you can hear me pretty decent. I know I'm probably having a little bit of a lag, but all right, appreciate it, guys, appreciate it. Chris, are you good to go?
I'm
And
good to
Stuck,
go.
if you don't care, repost everything in the Discords and our leadership chats, please, and tag everybody. That would be extremely helpful. Just going to give it just a few more seconds, guys. Again, appreciate everybody being patient with us. I'm assuming you couldn't get the graphics up.
What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do it straight from the Discord because I can blow it up pretty good size. I'm just gonna share my screen.
What do you mean, share screen?
Do a screen capture
Oh,
instead
I
of a
see.
game capture.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're saying now. Appreciate all 30 of you, 35 now, tuning in to this huge announcement. I've already said it a couple times, and I'll probably say it a couple more times. I'll repeat it. But we really do appreciate everything that you guys do for us. If it wasn't for you all, we couldn't do any of this. Shout out to the officers, our co-leaders, our assistant leader. Shout out to Gene and Dr. Cable. Man, let me tell you something. We got the best graphic designers out of anybody. I don't care what anybody says. I put them up against anybody. I'm a huge Marshall fan. Follow all Marshall things on social media. We put their graphics to shame, man. So shout out to our graphic designers. They work extremely hard to make sure we have what we need for these things here and for our social media as well. All right, Chris, just waiting on you to put it up there on the screen.
Okay, I'm working on that right now.
Yeah, if you can't do it, no worries, but I'm going to start if you can't.
Let's see if it goes up on the screen. Yeah, no, it's giving me a hard time.
We don't have to do it, man.
Worth a shot,
Do it
right?
the old-fashioned way. It was worth a shot. We're here. People can hear us. Something to be thankful for. So we will just share it to the main general chat, guys. And again, for those that are not in the clan, everything will be on our Twitter as well. I'll try to post it into our general chat. Actually, I can get to all of this pretty easily. So again, guys, we're doing this a little bit more difficult than what we had typically imagined. that it would be. So please just bear with us. But like we were saying the other stream, and I'm not for sure what everybody heard, but the DGC guys, it's been something the last few times we've done it. We've done 3 straight, going all the way back to 2022. Had a really good one last year, then just a few minor things. We're in the middle of a really good one this year. Teams are improving, and I honest to God love to see it. But we are going to be starting immediately on Friday, concluding the DGC. This year's 2023 and 2024 DGC season will be concluding this Friday. And why, you may ask, and we will go more into detail about, if there's going to be a playoff and if we're still doing the All-Star game, which was originally scheduled for next week. We'll talk about all that here in just a little bit. But right now, as I'm posting to our main Discord, we are welcoming back the DGL, and having some weak internet myself, so that might be a few seconds on sending. You was? Oh, yeah. Huge. Huge. So, let's go and switch to the DGL graphic. Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Sweet. But again, we're officially welcoming back the DGL. It is finally back. Yes, we started with the DGL back on Cold War, but that was basically a DGC with the round robin schedule, kind of like the NBA, right? So those old DGLs, basically DGCs. What we describe now as a DGL, basically a CL type league. If you like the CL, you like rooting for Atlanta and Optic and all of them, you're going to really enjoy being a part of this. Excuse me. But yes, we are again. We are bringing that back. We had one this time a year ago. We started in January. It was a fun league. Unfortunately, some frick happened. My former, emphasis on the former assistant leader, brought some people in that was lying about their membership with Dfuze, basically, and didn't tell me. Other organizations trying to get their hands on what we had, and found their way into our league. And it was a fun league this time a year ago, but it wasn't what we wanted. And what we want is a friendly, family-like league for our people, not other organizations' people. We only worry about our own. So that did go on for about 2.5 majors. Again, good success, but just not what we wanted. But I really feel this one is going to blow that one out of the water. For those of you that was here last year, the DGL might have left a bad taste in your mouth, and I completely understand that. But again, I can guarantee this one is going to be much better as long as we all work together, officers, leaders, and coaches and members. This is all starting about in the area of February the 19th. Go to the DGL details, Chris. Appreciate you doing this. I just want to reiterate, if anyone has any questions whatsoever, because I understand that we might have some casual people in this chat that doesn't know much about the CDL and really only knows about like how we do DGCs and stuff. If you have any questions whatsoever, please put it in the comments. I have people on standby waiting to answer those questions, and I will personally try to get to those questions at the end of the stream. If you don't get it answered, then please just put it in there again. So the details for the DGL, there will be 4 majors with champs, just like the CDL this year. Don't get me wrong, it will be, we will tweak things a little bit, to kind of put our twist on things. Major qualifiers will last 2 weeks. The tourneys for the major will last 2 weeks, and that'll follow with a 2-week break before the next major. Each team will play 5 qualifying matches to see where they get seeded in that major's tournament. Control is back in, domination is out. That's something I really want to touch on. I appreciate everybody playing domination this year. It was in MW19, it was in Black Ops 4, I believe, and it was such a huge hit. We received so much positive feedback from that, and we just appreciate everybody playing that, even though we knew Control was coming back. Next, DGC is still doing domination, though. The DGC will be concluded within the next week. As of right now, the DGC is still doing domination, but the DGL will be all Control for the 3rd game mode. Now, what I'm getting ready to say is, again, DGL only. So if you have any DGC games this week, do not live to this word. That is your warning right now. Kill streaks and covert sneakers will be took off the GA list and will now be available to use. So, and the same thing, and I know that we've already un-GA'd these, but the same thing with pistol attachments, those are available to use now and in the DGL. But as for covert sneakers and kill streaks, those are still GA'd in the DGC, but will be allowed in the DGL. To answer any questions about maps, well, for one, we might do our own things with maps at certain times of the year, which I'll get into in a minute. And we do have one right now already for the DGL that the CDL is not doing. But once the DGC is concluded, all the maps are changing, and CDL maps will be used for the DGL. Again, with potential minor changes that will be discussed here in just a little bit. And once again, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. Another thing that we're thinking about doing, and this is kind of our own twist on things, is doing a map of the major. Kind of paying respects to the DGC. We might bring back one map per major that was played in the DGC, such as Mercado, Farm 18, Afghan, stuff like that. It'll only be for hardpoint, so it would be a 6th hardpoint map. This is something that we still might not do, but I wanted to make sure everybody was up to date. It's something that we want to do, kind of add our own twist onto things, make it a little bit more competitive. You got to learn call-outs every single major, basically, which personally I like the thought of doing. And again, whatever is chosen for that specific major will only last for that major. So we're not going to have 10 maps by the end of the year. So it would change every single major. But again, that is still a toss-up, and we will keep everybody updated, especially with the committee that is being formed for the DGL. Chris, if we could... I just got one more thing. As for GAs for the DGL, this is a note for you coaches. As for GAs for the DGL, everything remains the same as the DGC. Again, except for kill streaks and covert sneakers. They will be allowed in the DGL. Everything else is still GA'd. We will try to keep everybody updated on that. We're going to have a little bit of a time period, and we're going to have a coaches meeting hopefully tomorrow. All right. CDL points. And I'm going to explain the majors a little bit better right after this if anyone needs any clarification. And if you do, don't be afraid to let me know in the chat, because again, I know that some people in here might not specifically know about the CDL. But this is, again, something that the CDL is doing as well. And basically what CDL points are, it helps in the overall standings at the end of the year. It really combats teams that might somehow end up with a weak strength of schedule. So it doesn't reward teams for going 5-0. It does and it doesn't. But it really rewards you for how well and how deep your run goes in the major tournament. So beginning at the launch of the DGL and throughout the entirety of the 2024 regular season, all teams will earn 10 CDL points for every match won. League standings will be determined by the total amount of CDL points accumulated. Teams will have the chance to accumulate bonus points depending on how they perform at the major. I'm going to give a little example, and I really hope this makes sense. But if you go 5-0 in major qualifiers, you get 50 points. If you win your first 3 games at the major, you're up to 80 points. But let's say you get eliminated right there and then get eliminated in the elimination bracket and you finish 4th place. So you were already at 80 points because you won 8 games. You finished 4th place, so you get 30 bonus CDL points that put you at 110 total. So again, it rewards you for how deep you go into the major. Because if not for that, a team could have a weak strength of schedule in the DGL qualifiers and basically be first place, and they might not even be the best team. So the points really separates that. Again, any questions, please say so in the chat. To answer your question, Chloe, because I just saw it, this is pretty much a Dfuze CDL. Yes, it is. So again, the CDL points work just like the pros, unless I am saying something wrong, but that is how we're doing it. Once again, just to explain further on the majors, there's going to be 4 majors. And within each major, which is Major 1, Major 2, Major 3, and Major 4, each major will consist of 2 weeks of qualifiers, and each team will play 5 qualifying games to see where they get seeded in that major's tournament. And then it'll be another 2 weeks for the major tournament. And then after that, there will be a 2-week break. A 2-week break in between every single major. So a major will last a month, and then there'll be a 2-week break in between each. Again, it's just like the CDL, except for a couple little tweaks that we might be doing. If anyone has any questions, please put it in the chat, because again, now is the time to ask this. We don't want no one asking what's going on later on in the season. If you know how the CDL works, you know how the DGL works. How will tiebreakers be decided? Stats or a playoff to see who gets the higher seed. So I know the pros do it a certain way, and I unfortunately did not look at that word for word, but I do believe they was going after in-season matchups. So if Blue D4 and Blue D5 are tied, but Blue D5 won both their matchups over D4, Blue D5 has that tiebreaker. And it's kind of like how we do things at the DGC when it comes to tiebreakers over there. Yeah, a seed is basically, Chloe, like if you're the first seed, you're the top team. It all depends on your overall record and stuff, or in this DGC, it all depends on DGL, it all depends on the CDL points. All these graphics will be shared later, but if anyone wants to take a screenshot of our stream right now, that right there is the 2024 season schedule. I'm going to go over that just really fast. Major 1 will begin February the 19th, and that is Major 1 qualifiers lasting from February 19th to March 1st. The Major 1 tournament will be March the 4th through March the 15th. Major 2. Major 2 qualifiers will be April the 1st through April the 12th. The Major 2 tournament will be April the 15th through April the 26th. Major 3. The Major 3 qualifiers will be May the 13th through May the 24th. The Major 3 tournament will be May the 27th through June the 7th. Major 4 qualifiers will be June the 24th through July the 5th, and the Major 4 tournament will be July the 8th through July the 19th. DGL champs. Champs will be August the 12th through August the 23rd, and only the top 8 teams will make the playoff, that will make champs. Anything below that, and you can be eliminated in Major 4. And again, it all goes back to CDL points. CDL points, and we will try to post this periodically. We'll try to get with our graphic designers to try and keep up with this. CDL points determines everything. Overall standings for the major, standings for the DGL, and your place in champs. As for a draft, there will not be a draft. No, teams are being built right now. We've thought about doing a fantasy draft in the past, but that's just not going to happen because teams build their teams the way they want to. Not only that, but if you're a team that practices from 11 to 1 and you draft a player that can only practice from 9 to 11, it's not going to work out very well. So I expect teams to be doing a lot of dropping and picking up once the DGC concludes. I do expect some trades as well. All of that can be discussed via the coach's chat if you're a coach. Teams will be the same as they are basically right now in the DGC, but once again, teams will go and reload, and I 100% expect that. As for skill caps, that will be discussed in the coaches' meeting. It's changing a little bit. It's not changing a lot. But again, that is your 2024 season schedule. So, again, take a screenshot of that, save it from the Discord, whatever. That's when everything's going to happen. Your qualifying matches will be randomized. I have an app to do it with, and we will get those out to everybody probably a couple days before Major 1 qualifiers, or maybe a week before Major 1 qualifiers, so that you can game plan.
Matt just had a good question here. Is there still a skill restriction?
I just answered that a second ago. There is still a skill restriction. It's going up just a little bit. It's not changing for the most part. So, again, it'll be discussed with coaches because we're not 100% sure on how we're doing it, but it will be discussed with coaches. We're going to go over maps really fast for the DGL just to make sure we're all on the same page. If we could get to the hardpoint maps real fast.
It's up there.
Basically, just like the pros. I didn't know because I was looking at the streams a few seconds behind. But Greece will be in For sub-base, okay, sub-base has gone awful. I've heard a lot of feedback on it. It's all been bad that I've heard. Unless someone disagrees, go right ahead and put it in the chat. That's fine. But I've heard a lot of negative on sub-base. Heard the pros don't like it, and I've heard there's going to be major changes after the CDL Major 1. So, Grease in for sub-base. As for Ryo, nobody has told me they wanted Ryo yet, and it just came out. That's got to be scrimmed a couple games before we can even think about putting Ryo in. And we have to, as a league, we have to go in and look at it. The pros are going to scrim it, but we will, again, we'll see what the CDL decides to do. We will try to go whatever route that they take, but again, may stick to what we want to do. So again, your hardpoint maps: Invasion, Karachi, Skid Row, Grease, and Terminal. As for Search and Destroy, if we get Search and Destroy up.
Search and Destroy is up.
Hang on a second. Yeah, Search and Destroy. High Rise, Invasion, Karachi, Skid Row, and Terminal. And then your control maps, if you want to go ahead and get that up as well, appreciate it, Chris. Your control maps are High Rise, Invasion, and Karachi. So some things are very reminiscent to the DGC, some things very, very different. So, again, those are your DGL control maps. If anyone has, and we're going to, don't go to the DGC just yet, please. We are going to talk about the DGC here in just a second, but I need to know right now if anyone has any questions regarding the DGL. If anyone has any questions regarding the DGL, now's the time to put that in the chat and we can answer that. I'm just going to give it a few minutes, make sure we're all up on the same page. Again, the season will start February the 19th, and that'll be Major 1, the start of Major 1 qualifiers. As for the new skill restriction, that'll be discussed in the coaches chat. Forfeits, it depends on how you're asking. I mean, if there's, the same rules still apply, which will be going over with the coaches. If you use a GA you're not supposed to, yeah, you forfeit that individual map. Teams are going to remotely be the same, yes. As of right now, we're going to have 10 slots. The goal is to get to 12. We might have to have a ghost team or two, which is fine, but we're going to be actively looking for coaches. But, we just got to do what we got to do here in the first major. But officially, there will be 10 teams in Major 1. As for new teams being released, that's not up to me. I know that we have Blue D2. Oh, I know what you're asking. We have Blue D2 starting. Black D2 is up and running as well, I believe. And Black D3 will be starting as well. So if anyone here is interested in being a coach, now's the time to do it. Message me at Fane1798 on Discord. We'll get started. It would, to answer your question, I believe, Zynga, if someone uses a GA and the other one decides to use one as well, what would be the outcome? Replay the map completely. We're not going, because we're not just going to punish the team that pulled it out first, because you obviously wanted to, the other team, if they decide to pull it out, it's kind of childish in a sense. Instead of just taking the forfeit, you replay the whole map.
Yep. Death Expert, the hardpoint maps are on the screen for you. Just so you can go over them again.
Hey, if everyone's cool with that, we can kick Zynga out.
Damn.
Again, if anyone has any questions about the DGL, ask. If anyone is confused on how it works, please ask. I am recommending no one leave the stream, though, because we are going to be talking what happens to the rest of the DGC here in just a minute. If you leave this stream today and you don't ask your question, you're telling me that you are 100% on board and 100% up to basic knowledge within the CDL and DGL.
Hey, Gene, guess what? You're SOL because Zenga's stuck. He doesn't have a say.
To the people that don't get picked up, you'll be sent to Gray or you'll just be a free agent within the clan. But do keep in mind, you're a part of a clan. That is the biggest thing that I want to stress right now, guys. If you are in Dfuze Gaming right now, if you are on Team Blue, White, Black, Gray, Division, whatever, you are a part of Dfuze Gaming. You are not a member of Team Blue, Team White, whatever. You are a member of Dfuze Gaming. This is not a league that is open for other organizations. This is stuff that we just like to do. It's fun to put together. It's fun to stream, and it's fun to have available for our members. And again, for you dedicated members of Dfuze Gaming, I really appreciate you.
And just so you guys know, anybody that becomes a free agent is on Team Gray or wants to move up, it's your responsibility. If you're on Team Gray, talk to Domo. Let him know you're interested in moving up. Find out what you need to do to move up. He can get messages out to all the coaches to let them know when you're ready. Any free agent should be reaching out to myself, Stuck, or Mufan, Justin, to let us know you are a free agent looking for a team so we can compile a list to make sure our coaches are aware.
Yep, that's exactly right. So if you're in the clan right now interested in comp and you're not on any team at all, again, reach out to one of us or reach out to Domo. Let's get you started. You got friends? Bring them in. Build a team. We will help you guys get to wherever you want to be, as long as you do so within the guidelines.
Amen, brother.
If you're asking about the 1 week requirement to be on Gray, Chloe, that will probably be waived in the first 3 weeks, unless we want to see where they're at skill wise. But for some players, yeah, we will try to get players in and get them to your team if you're wanting them. Again, we will try to work with you guys the best that we can, as long as you work with us. Two sides to every highway.
Ain't that the truth? And we're willing
That
to
goes
work where
for all
anybody needs it.
teams.
Like, I'm willing to help out wherever we can. As long as you're willing to work with us, we're willing to work with you.
Righty. If we could just get the season schedule put up one more time.
Season schedule is up.
Blue D1 is assigning Mr. Doom to Team Gray. You spelled Gray wrong, but I'll let it pass this time. Yeah, let's make a big deal about that. Actually, guys, if you can hear me right now, it's spelled Gray. 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 We're American. It's not the Canadian version.
Every once in a while, I still send it to him in a text GREY just to drive him nuts.
Hey, what's up, Matt? The first thing you could do is throw that clan tag on for us, because I've been keeping an eye on that. And I'm going to leave it at that. It is a requirement in Dfuze Gaming to, at all times, have your clan tag set to DFZE. Respectfully, I don't give a dang if anyone wants to say that's an old thing, 2012 thing. I don't give a dang. We're here. We need to unite together. We all have the same goal. Let's do it together. It's pretty simple. It's a clan tag. And we've had some people get pretty mad at us in the past over a clan tag. Well, that didn't make any sense to me, because they're not under contract, Chris. That's just something that we like to do. Alrighty. We'll assume that's all the questions. Let's go ahead and get talking about the DGC. We're not just going to up and leave it. You know, we've been in this thing for 2 months. We've played a whole in-season tournament. You know, we've got an all-star game scheduled. That frick is still happening. So if we could go ahead and get that graphic put up. Let's get talking about the DGC and the cluttered schedule over the next 10 days. And that is an understatement.
And it's definitely
An
going to be a cluttered
understatement.
schedule.
It is going to be busy. So I'm just going to wait until I see that up on the stream so I can make sure I describe everything the way I want to. What happens to the DGC? The end of the regular season's Friday. Go ahead and finish out your week. The end of the regular season is Friday, January the 19th. Again, we're still having an all-star game, an old-fashioned Dfuze Gaming all-star game. We're going to try and make this fun. People's loved it in the past. That starts with a draft on Sunday night at 10 p.m. EST before game night. The All-Star Game draft. Once again, January the 21st, 10 p.m. EST. The All-Star Game will be the following day on Monday, the January 2nd at 11 p.m. EST. It will be 5v5. We always like to do 5v5, kind of bring back that old feeling from MW19. We even done a 5v5 league in Vanguard that was very successful. So that's how that's going to be for that. The All-Star Game, obviously, on the 22nd will end that night, obviously. The playoffs will start immediately the next day, January the 23rd, and will last the rest of the week. We're talking next week, by the way, January the 23rd through the 26th. We hope we will, actually, because we can't wait for this. We will have all games done and all winners, eliminations, and my apologies, winners, champs, and elimination champs, and playoff games before that. It'll all be done by next Friday. Champs will be the following Monday, January 29th. Grand finals for the DGC. It'll be a best of 7 series. Okay, the goal is to kind of rush this in the neatest way we can. So, again, champs will be January the 29th. That's a Monday. It'll be a best of 7 series. The playoffs will be double elimination. We have the bracket. We just got to put the teams on. We know who's playing each other, and we can go over that if everybody wants to know that information, or we can wait until the bracket comes out. As for the rosters being locked, rosters have been locked in effect since Saturday. So DGC-wise, the rosters are locked. And I know this is kind of I'm a little bit of everywhere right now, a lot going on. But once we get to the DGL, rosters will be locked during majors. They will unlock during the 2-week break. Can't just pick somebody up after qualifiers and then put them in the major tournament. I think we should all agree to that. It's common sense. You can, however, anyone here could pick up anybody. I'm looking for an eighth right now. And if I find my eighth tomorrow, I will claim him tomorrow. But he will not be DGC eligible. He will just be my eighth that is getting ready for the DGL. To further explain on the All-Star Game, once again, the draft will be Sunday night. The coaches for the All-Star Game will be the head coaches of the first and second place team. We've always done it like that. And that will be myself and Strizzy. So we will be meeting about 10 o'clock Sunday night. Outside of that, each team gets to choose one All-Star. I believe how we're going to do it. This is not official. I'll try to get this announced at the coaches meeting tomorrow. We're going to let coaches decide their All-Star. We're going to let teams decide it. Because, again, we kind of got to neatly rush this. So I would really like to get a voting system just like we had one time, but I can't find the software to do it. I had somebody else do it at that time. So just going to let the teams decide their All-Star. That means there'll be 6 All-Stars, 1 from every team. And in the first round of the All-Star Game draft, we will be choosing nothing but starters. Now, once the starters have been chosen, we will do a second round of the draft. And that will be, you could choose, basically me and Strizzy, we can choose anybody in the clan. So anybody can become an all-star after that, a reserve, basically. Rosters will be up to 8, including the coach. So both all-star teams will choose 7 people. Now, these all-star games are not made to win. We can't come in here and go full try hard. A lot of it is putting our clan on notice with some of our best players, and also getting the chance to play with people that you don't normally get to play with. So I think everybody pretty much knows who my all-star might be on Blue D1, and no disrespect, but I will not be choosing him because I want to play with other people, and I recommend that to Strizzy as well. We want to be able to play with other people besides what we play with every single day. So it makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun for those participating. If anyone has any questions on the All-Star Game, please do not be afraid to put it in the comment section. Once the game happens the next day, it'll be about an hour-and-a-half event. That's how we normally do it. We will crown a winner, and whoever wins the most games within an hour-and-a-half, 2 hours, that's typically what we call it. So That's typically how we call the winner. But it's not a big deal. It's mainly for social media and marketing purposes. Again, any questions on the All-Star game, please ask now. If you're a coach, think of anything. We'll be having a meeting tomorrow night to make sure we're on the same page with this. I believe that's pretty much it. Unless anyone has, again, any questions on the All-Star game or the DGC. Again, regular season ends Friday. Any games past that, which is 8 games per team, they no longer matter. We hate to do that, but if we kept playing the DGC, then we would not have been able to do a DGL. So we needed to end it now. And again, shout out to the leaders who have been discussing this majorly for the past week and a half to be able to do something like this. Poor Eli got an ad, man. Holy. My condolences. I can't. I almost wish you could turn it off just for a stream, but I don't think you can do that. It's just the unfortunate part of being an affiliate. Also want to announce as well, if anyone here wants to become a coach, again, the more teams we have, the better and funner this will be. If anyone wants to become a coach, you can DM me. If anyone wants to be a podcaster, we're going to need podcasters. Please DM me. That is something anybody in the clan, and I know someone right now is probably saying, well, you ain't texting me back. I will get back to you after this, I promise. A lot of DMs throughout the day. Sometimes I just forget to get back to people. So I'm just going to leave the floor open just for a few more seconds for any questions, and then we'll end the stream, Chris. Again, we appreciate everybody that's came out and watched and supported us today and supports our leagues.
I do have that other graphic if you would like to share that.
What other graphic?
Look at the chat, the group chat. Discord.
Chris?
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Look at the Discord group chat.
Oh, if it's the bracket? No, not right
Okay.
now. Yeah, I don't want to show an empty bracket.
Got you.
Hey man, you better be getting on and warming up for practice, man. But yeah, it's one per team for the DGL committee, and that committee will be DGL only. So if you're already in it, Stuck and I will be handling the rest of the DGC. The committee will be for the DGL only.
Any other questions, guys? Now's the time to ask.
Now you guys are probably getting sick of us repeating ourselves, but it happens every year. We do this, and then people end up asking us questions a week later. Asking questions that we already gone over. So yeah, we just want to make sure this is your opportunity to make sure and ask anything regarding the DGL and DGC and Dfuze Gaming. Alrighty, well we're going to go ahead and call it there. Once again, guys, we appreciate everyone for tuning out, and I would just like to personally wish all the DGC teams good luck in the playoffs. Good luck to all DGL teams as we get ready to kick off this league. So, yeah, appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Chris, you can end it whenever.
Definitely appreciate everybody coming out. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next stream tomorrow night. You guys have a great night.